Slovensko! Woo!
Come on, Slovensko! Come on, cheer up, cheer up!
Responsible.
Yeah.
Blasky of Canada, Sirko Hunius of Germany, the referees for the first of 3 games here in Riga today, featuring Slovakia and Norway. And for Norway, there is something to play for. A regulation win today for Tobias Johansson's team will propel them from 12th to 10th in the IIHF rankings, give them a much better seeding in the Olympic qualifying tournament that will take place in September of 2025. And for Craig Ramsey's team, the situation is simple. They need a regulation win today to keep their quarterfinal hopes alive. They would have to hope that Latvia did not gain a point tonight against Switzerland. Otherwise, they are out of the quarterfinals. Slovakia is coming off a knee-knocking 1-0 win over Slovenia on Sunday. Norway coming off the high of the shootout win over Canada. We're trying to regroup today after the big win yesterday. Stanislav Skorvanek is the starting goaltender for Slovakia. The 27-year-old got the shutout in that game against Slovenia on 33 shots. And for Norway, it is 28-year-old Henrik Hockland, who has been very good for Norway this tournament, a .921 save percentage, a 1-2-1 record. Norway has been tough, especially 5-on-5. The Norwegians have allowed just 13 goals in 6 games, only 9 at even strength.
There's a lot of pressure on a team that struggles to score the way Slovakia has, knowing that they need to win in regulation.
All right, guys, let's go, get it on. Holy shit.
He got clipped. Good start.
That was Sirko Hunius, the German referee.
It's like he knew he was mic'd, and then he forgot the other mic on.
Yes.
Right away, as soon as he got banged off the first face-off. It's interesting. I was thinking after last night, advantage Slovakia. Norway has this huge emotional win. Nothing left to play for. They're in. It's all in Slovakia's corner. And Tobias Johansson, the head coach of Norway, tried to dispel that quickly with how much this game, they're trying to get 5th in the group. They're trying to change their world rankings and how that matters to them going forward. So he feels just as motivated, or they should be just as motivated as Slovakia.
Well, for the Slovaks, a lot to consider as well. That a quarterfinal spot would obviously be key, but they too could climb in the world rankings. That could keep them out of an Olympic qualifying tournament, depending on how it shakes out in the next couple of years. With Russia and Belarus currently barred from competition. As it stands right now, the top 8 teams in the IIHF rankings and the host team, Italy, have automatic berths in the Olympic tournament in 2026. And Slovakia is currently 10th.
But Russia obviously is in the top.
Right.
10 somewhere.
Yeah, they're 4th, I think. So hold on with it. As the rankings after this tournament that will determine the seedings. It's the last 4 World Championships and the last Olympic Games that set the rankings. The most recent tournaments have a higher value. Olin plays that down.
Slovakia would be feeling good about their medal from last Olympics. Will help their cause, although it'll be 4 years ago, so weighted differently.
There's Lantoshi with it. Bumps out ahead. Norway got into a qualifying group with Denmark and Slovenia in 2021. Lost the last game on home ice to Denmark, which qualified for the Olympics for the first time. Back at the point, Sukko plays it across. A centering pass from Mihaly Vaughn is knocked away and bumped out by Michael Haga.
There will be several moments like that in this game. Near chances that evolve into nothing in front of Norway's net.
Milos Kellerman winds his way in, but it's picked off. And Sondre Olden back the other way. Olden winds in, poke checked there by Janicic. Teams haven't met at the World Championship since 2015. Norway won it 3-2. Liljeberg shoots, got hopped around in front and skipped off Skorvanek. And Janicic back with it. Overall, Slovakia 7-1 against Norway. Slovakia won the only meeting at the Olympics back in 2010, 4-3. Remember, Slovakia went on that run to the Final Four in Vancouver. Covered Salston. Bumped that away. Bounces puck on the side of the goal. Skipped there, and Skorvanek quickly pounces on that.
Skorvanek has been excellent. Maybe a little lucky this tournament as well. He's got a .952 save percentage. And Lilleberg sends this one in, catches a couple different Slovak players, and eventually just to him. He's very fortunate That's hip then post. As the pinball carom almost fooled him early. The last thing you want to do is, when you have to win a regulation, go down to the vice grip of Norway.
Way back across by Tamashi. Alex Tamashi. Lost the handle, and England Anderson feeds that back to center ice. Norway would be in an even better position today had they held a pair of 2-goal leads in their opener against Kazakhstan. Lost that game in a shootout. That 7-8 pass missed Noah Steen, who was tapping his stick on the ice in the slot. Here's Steen with it again, bounced away from him.
He's so excited to finally be on the ice. He's dressed for a few games, but almost never gets out there.
Yeah, Steen, just an 18-year-old, plays for Mora in Sweden's Allsvenskan, the second Swedish league. Panik tried to bump Steen off the puck, plays it in. Another 19-year-old Isaac Hansen, who's played sparingly for them, although has taken 2 shootout attempts for them and scored against Canada yesterday. Regenda bumps it in on Liljeberg. Panik centers and score! Panik to Rivik. And Slovakia has an early 1-0 lead. Well, you talked about him in the opening. The Panik will play a key role, and he does there.
What a pass to Rivik, who's been their top offensive player in this tournament, their captain, but the ability of Panik to protect the puck. Regenda jumps in on it, but Panik here gets the defender on his back, and Hockling gets stuck on the wrong post. Isaac Hansen is close to Rivik, but not really tying up his stick or the passing lane, and Rivik easy tap in the open side after a beautiful feed from Richard Panik. Just what the doctor ordered for Slovakia.
So Rivik doesn't score a lot, but he scores big goals in the game winner against Latvia, the 2-1 win for Slovakia in that game. And the first goal here, the first goal is obviously you want to get it, but as you mentioned, against a team like Norway, absolutely critical to get the lead.
Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're chasing the game. You want to feel comfortable and try to build off that. Rivik, he may not score a lot of goals, but he makes the most plays with the puck for others and himself. And they've loaded up the top line to put Regenda up there with Panik and Rivik and said, you know what? You're the guys. Yeah. You have to go figure out how to score goals 5-on-5. They haven't done a ton of it, but they've got one early here in a must-win game.
They've only scored more than 2 goals once.
They only have 11 in 6 games. So it's been tough sledding.
And only 8 in even strength.
Yeesh.
Olam tries to center that. Picked up by Mario German.
But they've only given up 14.
Right. So
they don't give up much either. And some of that, one of those against them, 2 of them against them are shootout goals against, and they count as goals against, I think. So stingy, no matter which way you slice it, both these teams.
Tretinez feeds that back to Johannesson. Also underway at this hour, Germany and France. Germany an early 1-0 lead there. A win of any type for Germany. And the Germans clinch 4th place in Group A and a quarterfinal spot against Switzerland here in Riga on Thursday.
Interesting turn for them. They start with Sweden, USA, Finland, lose all 3 in regulation. You're thinking we're in trouble. And then they run off the last 4 to make the quarters.
Eric Salston works it and shoots! And a save made by Skorvanik.
Skorvanik keeping that 1-goal lead. Rivik trying to see him lift his stick up and get inside Hansen. Hansen never gets leverage underneath the stick of Rivik. He's where he wants it, but he's so far away, he's just waving at it. He's got to be closer where he can really torque under the stick.
That's the 19-year-old Hansen.
Yeah, that's being John Tortorella, my old coach. You can be in the neighborhood, doesn't mean you're doing the job. And he was in the neighborhood, but he wasn't doing the job.
He never said that to you, did he?
I was always doing the job, or never in the neighborhood.
Krogdahl plays it back. Costas tool that was blocked by Tamashi. And brought back out by Mario Lunter. Lunter winds his way in. Chaho drops that back. Regenda with a quick shot that levels off the glass, up and out of play.
Pavel Regenda, who has bounced around in this tournament, played down the lineup a little bit, up on the top line now. One of the few players with NHL experience on the Slovak lineup. Had 14 games this year for the Ducks. Signed as a free agent after last year's tournament when he led Slovakia with 5 goals in the Worlds. He also picked up an assist on the first goal. This good tournament continues again.
Off the draw, that shot deflected wide as Pata cut that away. Williberg leads that back around. Williberg. A bump there by Rivik. Picked up now by Howard Salston. He was brother Eric, teammates of this Norwegian national team. They had the Olin brothers for the better part of a decade. Ken Olin was the captain of this Norwegian team. In comes Howard Salston. Put that wide of the goal. Up the other side it comes to Vesterheim. And Vesterheim, another 18-year-old from Norway. So 3 teenagers for the Norwegians. That hot shot goes high. They're in the top division of the World Championship and the under-18s next year, and they qualified for the top division at the World Junior Championship this year. So it'll be the top 3 divisions in all leagues. And that ticks off the post, goes up and out of play. 13:23 to go. A couple of close calls for Norway, but it's a 1-0 lead for Slovakia. Slovakia 1-0 lead on Norway. Hannesson gets that pass back and puts it back in the corner. The Norwegians have a couple of close calls here in the first period. Beckingstad. Olsen flipped that wide, picked up by Suko. That is Suko. In center ice and flips that in. Dropped down by Hochland. Henrik Hochland was the German League goalie of the year this year. He's had just so-so results with the national team in his career. Obviously a critical position for the Norwegians.
They've been waiting on him to replicate his domestic successes with the national team, but probably face a lot more chances against here.
German centers a quick chance. Solaric with a backhand shot in the glove save made by Hochland.
I'll show you my domestic form right there. Take that away. And the control with which Hochland moved as Chillard explodes off the bench. German, nice job sliding it over to him. But Hochland never even bites on a potential blocker move. He's staying right in the middle of the net, loaded up to take it to the glove side, and nice save on Solar.
Grashko feeds that back. Rosandich with a shot. Rebound. Solaric scores! Peter Solaric gives Slovakia a 2-0 lead.
Well, you missed the first time. He's not going to miss the second. And just responsible play here. He steps in off the face-off to create a little bit of time and space on Martinson, and then goes right to the front of the net. takes a high route, so as Kazastul tries to block the shot, Krokdal is too deep to get a hold of him. And he grabs it and zips it upstairs, blocker side, to extend the lead 2-0. Well, this is all Slovakia could have ever hoped for. Not even 8 minutes into the game.
Slovakia, third round pick of Boston in 2013. Was in the Bruins organization for 4 years, played 40 NHL games. This year, started the year in Switzerland, transferred to Leksand in the Swedish league. Chaho lays that back, and a long shot drifts wide for Rosadic. And Slovakia must win this game in regulation to keep its quarterfinal hopes alive. If they do that, they'll then watch the Latvia-Switzerland game tonight and hope that Latvia does not gain a point in that game.
An interesting day. If they knew they were out, they would be probably heading home. If they knew they were in, they'd probably be heading to Tampere.
Right.
But they'll just have to hang and watch.
Again, that comes jumping in. That's knocked away by Johannesson.
And won't be able to go anywhere until tomorrow.
Off drops that back. Panik takes a swipe at it. Knocked out by Vesterheim. Vesterheim kicking at it. So 1-0 Germany on France in Tampere, Finland. A win of any kind for Germany, and the Germans are in the quarters against Switzerland here on Thursday. Skip back down to the Norwegian zone. Hawkland leaves it there for Max Krogdahl. Vikingstad with it. Back to Kostastul, shoots, that's punched away by Skorvanek. He's had some nervous moments in the first period. Vikingstad. Brings it back around for Olsen. Now to Vikingstad. For Berg Paulsen, shoots! And a point-blank save by Skorvanek.
That's bad coverage in front for Slovakia, bailed out by Berg Paulsen putting in the pads as he was wide open.
Now the clearing attempt knocked down by Kostastul. Bounces back to center ice, picked up by Liljeberg, pardon me. In comes Tretinez. Winds in, poke check there by Simon Nemec, who joined this team late after his Utica Comets in the American Hockey League were knocked out of the playoffs. New Jersey's farm team, Nemec, who was 19 years old, had a tremendous first pro year in North America. In comes Hunacek. Hunacek with Solaric in, shoots, and Huck makes a great stop. Rebound in front. And that pass misfired for Kellerman.
What a save. Might be a game saver.
Lead pass for Kellerman. Deflected, so there's no icing. Eric Salter got squeezed there. Hunacek picks up the rolling puck. Centers it. And Kellerman couldn't get the shot on goal. Haga for Martinson. That puck bounces back in front. At the glass it goes and picked up by Eric Salston. Hoff. That center ice pass picked up by Chaho. And Ivan goes back across to Konashko. Last year, a banner year for Slovak hockey. Won the bronze medal in the Beijing Olympics. With 3 other players picked in the first round of the NHL draft, including the top 2 picks, Yuri Slavkovsky to Montreal and Nemec to New Jersey. And they boast one of the brightest young female players in the world, 14-year-old Nela Upaslanova, who has been electrifying in her young career. Rivik plays that back in front, knocked down by Howard Salston. Rivik chips that back in. Taken down there by Kostastul. Play continues. Janishik. Picked up by Gaidos. And And Pavel Regenda back to pick it up. Sukal to Gaidos. And the Slovaks bring it out. Bumped in by Gaidos. Hoffman out to play it. And Leonberg waiting for it. Up to Vikingstad. 7.5 to go here in the opening period. 2-0 Slovakia leads. Vikingstad chips that down. Nemitz heads back. He's shuttled there by Olaf. And Lantoshi. Carried by Andreas Martinson. And Martinson picks up the loose puck. Threads out ahead for Tretinez. Bouncing puck was knocked away. Goes back to the point. And when Anderson shoots, that got through and Skorvatic made the stop. In comes Nemitz with it. Goes that pass in front. And Martinson has it back. Goes off the skate of Olaf.
That stung Olaf a little bit. You can tell the thud when it hit. He gave a little wince. You know it's a bad pass for a teammate when you start limping after trying to receive it.
You'd like your passes not to injure someone. Just
being a good teammate.
Runacek walks out, trying to flip that back in front. Bouncing puck goes to Olden. Eric Salston to Haga. Haga drops it back. Passes Stool. Centers it. Eric Salston, a shot that floats wide.
Vanek didn't see that till late. He was down on his knees, almost dropped over top of him. He's got the clean sheet going. 5 saves on 5 shots, but it
hasn't always been an oil painting.
Not been confidence-inducing.
Eric Salston works in. Poke check there by Gerbach. Here's Ivan with it. Out to center ice to Lunter. Mario Lunter. Pivots back in the corner. Looks back at the point for Mahal Ivan, but the puck bounced away from him. Long time between whistles here in the first period. Lunter. Tied up by Howard Salston. He looks back at the official. There's Howard Salston back with it. Bumps it back down to the Slovak zone. Slovaks have had their moments in this tournament. Trailed Kazakhstan 3-1 in the third. Managed to battle to a shootout and gain a point in that shootout loss. They were tied with Switzerland 2-2 in the third period. 5 of their 6 games so far decided by 1 goal.
And that's with the power play that's only scored 3 times.
Right.
And that's why Craig Ramsey lamenting. This is a similar situation as Norway.
Right. Podek winds his way in. Drops that back. Janishik plays it back down. Regenda trying to dig that free. Vikingstad. A poke check there. Regenda picks it up, trying to center it. Rivik was alone in front. And now Olsen has it back for Norway. Gaidos. Swings back, gets away from the forechecking with Tretinez. And slides it up for Lantoshi, who streaks in. In comes Lantoshi with a chance. Backhand shot scored! What a dash by Robert Lantoshi! And a 3-0 lead for Slovakia. Wow.
What a goal by Robert Lantoshi. Gets the third of the period for Slovakia. He takes this off Gaidos behind his own net. I'll take this. And Kazakhstan has been a good defensive defenseman. He gets busted wide. Just doesn't anticipate the speed of Lantoshi, who we've seen can really fly. That's not even a pass for him. He just takes it. And this is like minor hockey stuff when you're 8 years old and skate better than everyone. I'll just take it and go around. And then get the leg out. Beat Hockman to the far post. That is beautiful by Lantoshi, and massive third goal. Slovakia feeling great about their game right now.
Lantoshi was signed as a free agent by Boston in 2019. Spent a couple of years in Providence of the American League. He was a member of the Slovak team that won a bronze medal at the World Junior Championship in 2015. One of the great celebrations we've ever seen. Back to the point. Polk plays it back in. So the Slovaks was a breathing room here in the first period. A 3-0 lead on Norway. Just the second time in the tournament that Slovakia has scored more than 2 goals in a game. And they do it in the first period against a very stingy Norwegian team. Now again, Tobias Johansson talked about this before the game.
Yeah.
The high of the win over Canada yesterday.
This is totally normal for Norway to have a letdown in this game. Totally normal. Now, Tobias Johansson could talk about world rankings and everything else, but hard to put that into your body when you're the euphoria of last night's win over Canada.
Chaho plays that back. That long shot bounces wide. 3 to go here in the opening period.
I mean, we've seen Slovakia be in alone. Lantoshi there. There's been 2 clean 2-on-1s. A breakaway for Slovakia. I mean, there's been a lot of opportunities that Norway hasn't given up throughout this tournament.
Regenda, long shot. Hockland save, rebound. Goes back to Regenda. Rivik to Regenda. Back to Rosendic to Kanashko. He slides that back in. Slovakia 3 goals on 8 shots so far in the game. Olsen out for Berg Paulsen. Berg Paulsen brings that back in. Poke check there by Kanashko. That long shot by Hansen deflected, went just wide. It's been 9 minutes without a whistle here, except for the goal. It's the only stoppage in play we've had.
Keep it running. Slovakia's up 3-0. Now they really want to keep it running.
Yeah. So Latvian fans watching this with interest as Lantoshi winds in again, centers it, and that's tapped wide by Kaderna. Kaderna again fires up the outside of the goal. Lantoshi back with taken it by Liljeberg. And Liljeberg with 1:33 to go in the first period will go off. Maverick Rivik opened the scoring less than 4 minutes into this game, and now with a 3-0 lead, Slovakia goes to the power play as Emil Liljeberg goes off for boarding.
Can they possibly be so greedy to get a 4th goal on the power play?
Well, they're not getting the power play going. They're 3 for 17 on the man advantage. Nemitz back for Hudacek. Even a regulation win for Slovakia might not be enough. They got a long day ahead of them.
Out of their hands.
If they win a regulation, they'll be done around 2:45 local time. They'll have to wait till about 10:45 local time tonight for the result of the Latvia-Switzerland game. Nemitz back to Rivik. If Latvia gains a point in that game, Slovakia is out. Again, it plays it across. That skips away from Hudacek. Tough task for Latvia against Switzerland. In fact, I'll ask you the question. If Slovakia wins this game in regulation, would you make them the favorites to advance?
Yes. I mean, Switzerland has just been that good. And Latvia's played inspired hockey, and the crowd will be crazy, but Switzerland would win that game in regulation 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times.
Savarik back forward again as time winds down here in the period. Nemitz Plays it back across. Hudacek shoots, and Hochland makes the glove save.
Hudacek, who's out there on one of the wings of the umbrella as a shooter, tries Hochland to the glove side and can't quite find it. There's Lantoshi, who took the hit. He's okay, right back on the ice, but that is one of the prettiest goals I can remember seeing in this tournament, end to end.
Well, you talked about him earlier on, about his breakaway speed. Like
he's got another gear. At this level, the difference between the fast guys and the not as fast guys is very small, except for the really fast guys.
Right, for the exceptional.
And that's what Lantoshi is.
Feeds that back across Solari. Back in front, but it's broken up by Casastool as time winds down here. Thrown towards the goal. Hochland will glove that with 1.3 seconds left.
And with good angling and good awareness, you can sort of diffuse top speed on just about anybody. Unless it's so great that it throws you off. And you saw Casastool just get roasted because he just couldn't compute how fast he was going.
Off the draw, Slovakia couldn't have drawn this up any better. A 3-0 lead on Norway after the first period in the first of 3 games here in Riga today.
Let's go.
Keep it going, keep it going. Here we go, Stick, take care. Good. Take care, get it.
Hard to imagine that first period going any better for Slovakia. A 3-0 lead in the game they have to win in regulation. And they'll start the second period in the power play for 28 seconds. Česlav Skorbatic had his moments in the Slovak crease, but kept the ball out on 6 shots. It was a struggle for Henrik Hockland, who allowed 3 goals and 11 shots in the opening period.
Felt like Norway was just a shade off from what they have been. Understandably, they beat Canada in a huge game, and then had to follow it up with a game against a desperate opponent. Just the defensive checking wasn't quite as tight. Slovakia took advantage, to their credit.
Straight down. 6 down.
And the opening face-off completed incident-free as Howard Salston works in. He's poke check there by Nemitz. Good a check. Gains center ice, flips that down to Rimick, walking right in. Couldn't get the puck to sit for him for a moment. Now, Regenda returns the pass to him. Final seconds of the Slovak power play. Good a check. Banks it back around. Rimick throws it back in front. That was blocked by Kassestuhl as Williamberg steps back on for Norway. Nemitz shoots, that deflects into the slot. Williamberg picks it back up. Knocked down by Cook. This pass broken up and brought up by Howard Salston. Here's Regenda with it. Back to Cook. In Tampere, Finland, Germany a 2-0 lead on France in the second period. A win of any kind for Germany. And they qualify for the quarters as the 4th seed from Group A will play Switzerland here on Thursday. That's about all we know.
Yeah, not much else has been crystallized, and we're gonna have to wait till the late games, Sweden, USA, to decide who comes first and second.
Yeah.
And Canada, Czech. Game is for second, third.
Trentinez works in, centers a quick chance there in front for Martinson, turned away by Skorbatic. And the late game here, Latvia and Switzerland will likely decide the last spot, assuming Slovakia brings this home.
You know what, though? It's almost setting the stage the way you'd want it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we're in Latvia. The crowd has been incredible. You have the host Latvia going up against the best team, Switzerland, needing at least 1 point to make it to the quarters, which would be a huge accomplishment. It's going to be amazing.
Runacek winds in. Cehlarik shoots. Hoffman makes the save. The rebound tipped wide by Kellerman. Long shot by Rosendich. Loose puck in front for Cehlarik. Cehlarik centers it. Runacek a shot. Hoffman makes the point-blank save on that.
Good flow into this high slot by Slovakia. They're getting to pucks first in the offensive zone, but then they're getting to the slot, the areas where you need to go. Nice little tip by Kellerman, but they're not standing there battling. They're skating in and out of coverage. Norway having a little trouble sorting it all out, as did Slovakia on this previous chance. It's another one by Martinson. Scored a goal against Canada last game. He puts that anywhere far side of the net. It's in the back of the net. Couldn't quite pull it across.
Rosendich back with it. Got ejected from the Slovaks opener against Czechia. 5-minute major for kneeing. They opened with a 3-2 loss to their arch rivals from Czechia. Beat Latvia in a nail-biter 2-1. And then 3 successive losses. A shootout defeat to Canada, a 4-2 loss to Switzerland, another shootout loss to Kazakhstan. Finding a 1-0 win over Slovenia on Sunday put them in this position.
Yeah, but even in some of those games they were losing, they were picking up points, which allowed them to stay within touch of other teams. And knowing they need to get it in regulation, I mean, what can you say about this first period? Fantastic stuff. 3 5-on-5 goals, 3 different lines.
Right.
which is unheard of for Slovakia in this tournament. Riga had been on basically half the goals the team had scored. So maybe they're thinking that their luck has finally turned for a lot of the good work they've done throughout the tournament. Now they are getting rewarded for it.
They were 8th last year, lost in the quarterfinals to Finland. That was their 2nd straight quarterfinal loss. Slovakia's last medal in this tournament was 2012. They won a gold in 2002. Also won the bronze at the World Junior in 2015. Mirek Godla, the goaltender, was a hero in Toronto. The bronze medal game got a standing ovation, the crowd chanting his name.
Well, it's one step at a time, right? Get to the quarters. Yeah, it's hockey. One game.
Right, yeah.
Ask Carolina. One game doesn't, you know, anything's possible.
Colorado dominated the playoffs last year, right?
Yes.
They went 16-4. Then a chance in front, they score! Fed in front by Bernd Paulsen. He finds Vikingstad, and Norway is on the board, down 3-1.
What a good pass by Bernd Paulsen. Vikingstad just gets lost. Chaho is doing shoulder checks, and he gets a little tied up. Gaidos and Chaho weren't quite sure who was going to Bernd Paulsen. You see them both sort of go and then sort of hesitate, but my goodness, threading the needle by the sticks and the skates right onto the tape of Vikingstad.
His first goal for a Norwegian national team. It's his first tournament in a top-level IIHF competition.
That's what Norway was looking for. Get one early. Get yourself back invested in this game. Maybe let the stress of what's at stake rise for Slovakia.
Sure. They can get this to a one-goal game by the end of the second. Hockman got a quick chance, and Hockman loves that.
And so much about defense is communication. Making sure that we know what we're doing. So you watch Gaidos in front, Chaho come back towards the net, and they both kind of half go and half don't. Neither one of them goes to Vikingstad, neither one of them turns around and ties up and goes to Bernd Paulsen. And when you're stuck in the middle, you're in the neighborhood, Gord. They're not doing the job. I feel like I'm running a film session from Tampa, circa 2001.
I feel like that experience scarred you somewhat.
It was funny when he'd say it, as long as it wasn't to you. Because you knew it would be coming. Oh, there's a guy who's in the neighborhood.
Talking about John Tortorella, coach in Tampa at the time.
Who, Craig Ramsey, the head coach of Slovakia, was our assistant that year, so he would have been part of the neighborhood watch.
And pass called the offensive zone for Slovakia.
Again, I never want to let an opportunity to irritate go. He kind of just dumped that puck after the whistle into the net or towards the goaltender.
He was signed as a free agent by Anaheim last summer out of this tournament. First year in North America, played 14 games for Anaheim, got a goal, played 50 games in San Diego, the American League, scored 13 times.
20-goal pace, half a point a game, first year in the American League. It's not bad at all. And Anaheim's probably a pretty good team to be around right now because there are jobs available. They're probably going to play some sort of offensive style.
Norway's got 3 teenagers on the ice right now, and one of them, Noah Steve, was just tripped. And so Norway will get a power play here. Whether that's a good thing or not is up to you to decide, but
young legs, they'll be energetic.
Slovakia number 29, minor penalty for tripping.
So the Norwegians scored their first 2 power plays of the tournament. They're 0 for 22 since.
They're due as well then, I suppose. Rahali Van knocked down the aforementioned teenager Noah Steen. Now do you want to put 3 of them on the power play? That's the next step. Noah Steen, they said they put him on the bench for his energy. Even if he wasn't going to play, he just talks a lot. Like any teenager, bouncing around, having fun. This all of a sudden becomes a pretty important penalty kill for Slovakia.
They've been good, allowing just 2 power play goals and 20 opposition attempts. That's stopped by Skorbanek on Johannesson. Here's Martinson. Plays it back around. Here comes Vikingstad. Olsen shoots, point blank, saved by Skorbanek. Back across, and when Anderson plays that back, and when Anderson tees it up, Skorbanek another stop.
Even Anderson can really shoot the puck. He's got that extra 10 miles an hour that the heavy shooters have.
At high school hockey in New Brunswick at the Rothesay Netherwood Academy. 5 gone here in the second period. Norway on the power play. Tobias Johansson calls their power play performance the elephant in the room.
Except he keeps talking about it. So,
well, they had 11 minutes on the power play against Czechia in the second period and lost the game 2-0.
It hasn't been a big help.
They were 0 for 6 in the power play, the 2-1 loss to Latvia. Ola. Rigged wide to Haga, who has their 2 power play goals, scored their opener on their first 2 attempts against Kazakhstan. Ola winds it back, Johannesson. Haga shoots! And Janusik sprawled in front of that. Haga, 25 seconds to go in the Norwegian power play. Olden to Johannesson, back to Olam. Olam has a look back, Johannesson. Wrist shot was blocked by Rivik. Now it's picked up shorthanded by Paddock. Richard Paddock, shorthanded, breakaway! Lost the handle, it was almost kicked in by Johannesson. I think Johannesson almost kicked it into his own net. After Paddock lost the handle on a shorthanded break. A sharp angle, Hockland feeds that as the power play comes to an end. And once again, no result for Norway. 3-0, 3-1 now, Slovakia leads here in the second. Here in Riga, Slovakia has a 3-1 lead on Norway. In Tampere, Finland, Germany has a 3-0 lead on France in the second period, so looking good to book a spot in the quarterfinals. Olsen works in, shoots! And Skorvanik made the save as Thomas Olsen just walked right in.
Well, the power play didn't score. The best chance while those 2 minutes were on the board was to Richard Paddock on a breakaway. Now, I don't mind going through the legs, no problem at all, because that, you know, it's just one of the moves guys do. But it's a move that generally is done while sliding laterally across the net. And he's basically going straight on Hockland with a back checking of Johannesson. So the selection of the move in that moment probably wasn't the right one. Because even if he gets the shot, the goaltender's not going side to side for it to go back against the grain.
Olsen wheels and shoots. Not a good chance there as Skorvanik was bumped at the end by Thomas Berg-Paulsen.
So stop pushing him into your goaltender if you don't want him to touch your goaltender. Like, honestly, Simon Nemeth, good player. Great career ahead of him. So he's trying to stand upright and not bump the goalie. And you keep pushing him into the goalie, and then you're mad that he's hitting the goalie. It's just, so trying to get out of there. They won't let him.
Cehlarik almost turned that over to Berg-Paulsen. Now scooped up by Kadashko. Lead pass for Cehlarik, just skipped away. And Cehlarik gathers it back up in the corner. Kellerman. Trying to work that free behind the goal. Kellerman gains possession. Hansen stepped into him. Liljeberg knocked away, and Thomas Olsen back to pick it up. Big year for Norway. We mentioned next year they'll be in the top division, the World Championship, the World Junior, and the Under-18. As Martinson moves in, at the Under-18s, they want to last the last spot as Germany was relegated.
That's surprising. Germany seems to be ascending.
Yeah, I mean, age-out tournaments have still been tough for them. Tretinez. That puck skipped by the Slovak bench. Lunter falls. At center ice, here's Olam with it. Ken Olam trying to work that free. Regenda knocks him off the puck. Lunter back with it.
Get it off the boards. My goodness.
Martinson just filled in Lunter. Running by Rivik. Rivik shoots from a sharp angle. Hockman the save. And the key now for Norway is for Hockman not to give up the fourth goal.
Yeah. He's got to lock it in here. Slovakia hasn't had too many good looks other than obviously a shorthanded breakaway. But other than that, they haven't really done much in the second period, sort of sitting back.
Honik knocked down Krogdahl, centers it. Skips by Koch and back to center ice. In comes Haga. Throws that rink wide. Gaidos skips that away. Here's Panik with it. Panik up for Regenda, moving in, and poke check at the last second by Johansson. Panik lost the puck behind him.
Just can't stop going through his legs. Keep it moving.
Adam Blosky, the referee, telling him to move it. They're trying. Gaidos fires it right back around. They'll try the other side now. Isaac Hansen. They're tied up. Suka. Back across to Koch. That shot was blocked in front by Hansen. Toshi plays that back, and Kaderna missed the net. Bounces back out. Now picked up by Lantoshi. With that back across, and now here's Ivan with it. Ivan drops back for Lantoshi. Sends that back to Nimitz with a shot that was blocked by Hoff. Past the midway point of the second period. In comes Lilleberg with it. Goes in 1-on-5. Drops that back with a long shot taken there by Berg Paulson, steered away by Skorvanek. Vesterheim brings that back around as England Anderson had stepped up and chipped by him, and Berg Paulson back to pick it up. Drop back to Olsen, shoots, that's knocked away by Skorvanek. Chances piling up here for Norway in the second period. Olsen. Rips that back in the corner. Hudacek for Kellerman, goes right back to Hudacek. He's got Cehlarik with him. Cehlarik works it back in front. Oh, what a stop by Hockman on Hudacek on the tip. Perfectly executed 2-on-1 by Slovakia, but Hockman makes the save, and now a long shot there by England Anderson, steered away by Skorvanek. And Cehlarik lifts that ahead. Race for it now. Kellerman gets there for Slovakia. Lilleberg steps hard into him. Tahoe works that free, and it's shot wide by Tomashi. Janishik plays it back down. Tomashi. Janishik for Kanashko shoots. It's off the skate of Martinson. Up and out of play. 8:16 to go in the second period. Slovakia leads Norway 3-1. Back here in Riga, Latvia, hosting for the second time in the last 3 years in 2021. Attendance was severely limited. Players were bubbled. The city was essentially locked down. That is not the case this time around. This has been Riga in full bloom, figuratively and literally. So, gets it into Panik. Panik winds back in. Swings that around to Rivic as his top line goes back to work for Slovakia. Krogdal. Eric Salta had that pass taken away, now picked up by Krogdal. And Max Krogdal brings it out. 22-year-old play for Norway. They had a ton of graybeards for a long time in Norway. There's Holos and others who are mainstays of the national team. 17th straight year for Norway in the top division.
That's an impressive run.
Small country, 5 million people.
Most tournaments, they don't have a lot of margin. It's kind of 1 or 2 games that they have to win.
Lead pass to Kaderna, walks in and shoots. Hoffman the save on that. He wasn't sure where the rebound was. Kaderna lays that back for Nemitz. Lantoshi, sharp angle shot by Super, turned away. And Hoffman quickly bounces on that.
What? We talked about that 2-1 that was earlier in the play. Hudacek gets it going, throws it over to Solark. Now just gets on his horse, hard as he can. Beat his guy to the back post, and he does. But because he's going so fast, the puck is way out in front of him. He tries to cut underneath it and pop it up over Hockland's pad. Just couldn't quite elevate it, but that's how you're supposed to do it. Just everything but the finish.
Great stop by Hockland.
Talk about Hockland not giving up the fourth. That's a big one.
Ivan throws that back in. It goes off his stick and up and out of play with 6:43 to go in the second period. And if you're just joining us, Slovakia has to win this game in regulation to have a chance at the quarterfinals. They would have to then wait for tonight and hope that Latvia does not gain a point in its game against Switzerland. For Norway, there's something to play for as well. A win today in regulation would move them into 5th place in the standings in Group B, would also move them from 12th to 10th past Slovakia in the IIHF world ranking.
That's wild that they could jump over Slovakia.
And the world ranking after this tournament will be used to determine Olympic qualification for the 2026 Olympics in Italy. The top 8 countries and the host team Italy will have automatic entries.
So you want to be 8th or even 9th, I suppose, with Russia in the top 5.
So 9, 10, 11 would host Olympic qualification tournaments.
That's if Russia is allowed to play in the Olympics.
So that's the question mark.
Which nobody really will have an answer to in a couple of years. So there's that Craig Ramsey having a little laugh on the back of the bench. It's always good to see coaches who, it's an incredibly stressful job, there's no doubt. And it's very serious. But occasionally enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
During the game. Like, you're allowed to have fun during the game.
It's hard to find a coach in the game more universally beloved by his former players than Craig Ramsey.
Yeah.
I mean, teammates too from his Buffalo days. And now another chance on the side of the goal. Hudacek turned away by Hockland.
Hockland read that one properly. Kellerman didn't leave the short post like he did in the first goal that opened the game.
Germany still leading France 3-0. Hudacek throws that rink wide for Solara. Wide of the goal and picked up by Krogdal. Krogdal. Poke check by Tamashi. And now Koch plays it back for Kadashko. Lead pass for Hudacek. Flips that back down to the Norwegian corner. Tamashi swings that back around. Trentadez picks it up now for Norway. And Kassestuhl has it back. Still to come here today. Canada takes on Czechia in the second game. That'll decide second and third place in this group. Chaho works in, shoots, Hockland save, rebound loose in front, and Olin cleans that up with Hockland down. Olin. Haga. Kept alive by Chaho. He plays it back in the Norwegian corner. Passes to him. Here attempt knocked down by Lunter, who plays it right back in. Regenda. Penalty coming out of Norway as Regenda was spilled. Gaidos across the Panik. Extra skater comes on. It's on Toshi for Slovakia. Regenda wheels it around for Rivik. 6 skaters on 5 now for Slovakia. That centering pass tipped wide by Panik. On Toshi. Works it back to Mihaly Ivan. Gaidos to Rivik. Panik. Gaidos. Ivan. On Toshi. Tries to center it, finally touched up by the Norwegians. And with 3:58 to go in the second period, Slovakia is going to the power play. So Max Kralgo goes off for tripping with 3:58 to go in the second period. Slovakia is going back to the power play. Second power play of the game. Slovaks are 3 for 18 in the tournament. Slavkovsky from Montreal was injured in the second half of the year. Unavailable. Regenda drops that back. Rudacek swings that rink wide for Regenda. 3 different Slovaks have their power play goals. Nemitz back to Rivik. Rudacek. Rivik. Back down to Rudacek. At the point, Nemitz fires, Hawk to the save. Slovak fans are chanting, "We want a goal." Nemitz speeds it across, that pass missed. Always want the players to chant back, "Yeah, we do too."
Not as badly as I do.
Yeah. You want one. Panik for Rudacek. Back to Panik for Nemitz, that got away. The other thing I'd like to see is when a coach makes a terrible mistake, I'd like the referee to go to his bench and start yelling at him for making a bad mistake.
We do as players under our breath, just not out loud.
Rudacek for Rivik. Panik. 30 seconds to go in the Slovak power play. Rivik for Panik, that misfired. Hansen to the line and held by Nemitz. Rudacek. Works in, teed up for Regenda, fires, Hawkins got just a piece of that to knock it wide. And it's chipped back down to the Slovak zone, the final seconds of this power play.
Another successful kill, another not successful power play.
Norway's killed off.
He goes again.
Another chance for Lantoshi working in. Centers it, that's missed by Suko. Them off 20 to 24 power plays they faced in the tournament.
Make up for a bad power play in a lot of ways.
Not sure bad quite covers it, but
a lot of adjectives I could use there.
They passed that exit a few ago. Martinson trying to dig that free. Germany still beating France 3-0 in the second period in Tampere.
Look out.
Oh, Kaderna was
almost too many men, and also a very dangerous pass to receive.
Eric Salston was standing right in his path. Liljeberg. Moved ahead to Eric Salston. He's got England Anderson with him. Koch plays it around for Janusik. Olden swings that back across to England Anderson, has a quick look. And the puck goes by Olden back down, and icing called.
No, it will not.
Oh, it died late in the period.
Lots of snow down there.
Olden chips it back down. Regenda picks that free for Kellerman. Rink Whiting goes for Koch jumping in. Koch shoots that wide. Here's Kellerman back on it. Regenda thumped there by Vikingstad. And picked up by Krogdahl. And Norway gets the only goal of the second period. Cuts the Slovakian lead to 2, but the Slovaks are one period away from keeping their quarterfinal hopes alive in the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
Boys. Mye bedre periode. Kom igjen, da. Vi tar med det her.
Take care. Good. Here we go. "37 from 23 and 18. Free! Free! Yup, here we go. Keep going. Keep it going. Let's just stack, stack, stack. Get it out. Good. Here we go. Here we go.
1 period to go in regulation. It is Slovakia leading Norway 3-1. Henrik Hockman allowed 3 goals in the first period, stabilized in the second. It's a game Slovakia has to win in regulation to keep its quarterfinal hopes alive. They need this win, 3 points, and then Latvia to gain no points in its game tonight against Switzerland.
If you're Norway, you're going to try to push early. Get one within that first 5-7 minutes. And you have plenty of time to try to get the tire, which you know Slovakia will be feeling the tension trying to protect. And flip side for Slovakia, just get through the first 5 minutes. Under control, confident, and go from there.
Teams start the third period 5-on-5 in Tampere, Finland, Germany. A 3-0 lead on France. A regulation win or a win of any kind propels Germany to the quarterfinals, and a date here with Switzerland in the quarters on Thursday. It's a pretty good rivalry now, Switzerland and Germany in international hockey.
Yeah. I mean, Germany put a tough fight up against. They lost by 1 goal to Finland, Sweden, US. They were right in those games.
Right.
So it's, even though they're finishing 4th, it's not like they were blown out against the top teams. They finished ahead of them.
Panik drops that back for Nemetz. The pass just missed him. Coach throws that back in front, and Hockland kind of found that. I think he's looking for Nichols there.
He thought he had it, but it kept slipping out the tip of the glove. And he was looking for a whistle play from behind the net. You know, Hockland has done a nice job in this term, though, I think, building off a very strong season in Germany. Played as the #1, as the tougher opponents for Norway, and like the team in front of him was pretty good defensively.
Right. Off the draw, that's fired wide.
And maybe that's the message. If you want them to put up numbers like in Germany, you got to play in front of them like they do in Germany.
Trenton centers it. Olin missed on that. Ali Van up ahead for Kaderna. Kaderna moves in. Hockland knocked that away. Brought in by Martinson. He's knocked off the puck and it's brought back by Lantoshi. He scored a brilliant first period goal streaking down the right wing. Now drops it back. Kaderna's shot was blocked by Kasastool. Kasastool out to center ice. Move back in. Kasastool. Long shot gloved by Hockland on the point drive by Janusik.
But a good start to the period for Slovakia. Get the puck in the offensive zone. Things will happen when you're down there. Smart, safe plays along the wall, winning battles. Just nothing risky, no hope passes in front that can cue up an odd man rush. Just steady play in the offensive zone, exactly what Craig Ramsey would have asked for after the second period.
That rolls down to score Vanek. You mentioned having a good turnover for Slovakia, 950 save percentage.
Kind of snuck up on us, that number.
Yeah.
Wow.
Played pretty well in their opening loss to Czechia. As Albert Salston moves across the line, but that play is called offside at the Slovak line.
Albert Salston, one of the new brother duos on Norway. And his brother Eric as well. The thing is, they don't play together during the year. I mean, we got a brother that plays pro. If you're both going to play in Norway.
Well, one plays for Storhamar, one plays for Sarpsborg.
I don't think if you're a different country, but if you're both going to be in Norway, you think 2-for-1 package.
From along the wall. And now Rosendietz back to pick it up. Race for it. As Winter gets there. Chaho pivots back. Moves that back to Yvonne. Kadashko shoots. That was blocked by Bernd Paulsen. Kadashko's second try. Fires again. Put that wide. Hockland never saw that.
6 people standing in front of Hockland when that shot was drifted through by Kadashko.
By the way, Stavanger is the powerhouse team in the Norwegian League by far. They've been dominant for a decade or so. The Oilers of Stavanger. Cork with it. And now Cork winds his way in. Throws that back in front. It's picked up by Martinson. For a lot of players in Norway, it's not a full-time living. That pass is picked up as Rivik walked in, but he was poke checked by Kassestuhl.
One too many moves from Rivik.
Now Olin with a steal. Drops that back for Eric Solston. It bounced away from him. So as a result, the Norwegian Federation encourages its players to play in other countries. Play at higher levels. Rather than play in Sweden. Nemetz moves in and fires, and Hockland gets a piece of that. Hockland, the goalie, played in Germany this year. At the point, Lantoshi. He fires. That was blocked in front by Steen. And now Steen has it poked away. William Bird back across to Solston. Hoff back at the point. Johannesson had that skip away. He has to retreat to pick it up. Ole Englund Anderson plays that back for Johannesson. Guido's back to pick it up. Kellerman throws that to center ice. Englund Anderson knocks it down and feeds it back across to Johannesson. Chris Paz ahead for Vesterheim. And the teenager moves in. The pass was in behind Ludwig Hoff, and now a chance for Slovakia, breaking it back the other way, but Kassestuhl takes that away. Albert Solston. Lays it back down for Vesterheim. The pass is picked up by Guidos. Kamashi breaks it and shoots, blocked by Krogo. Rebound, and Hockland steers that away. Kassestuhl. High in the air and back to center. These teams have not met at the World Championship since 2015. Norway won that game 3-2. Their only ever win against Slovakia at the World Championship. The Slovaks have won the previous 7. Paulsen centers it. And Thomas Olsen taken down as that long shot from Isaac Hansen was stopped by Skorvanek. 3-1, Slovakia leads here in the third. With a 2-goal lead on Norway, which has not yet scored a third-period goal in the tournament.
All down narrow biter. It's just when they've needed the offense, it hasn't really been there. They haven't needed much. They need a couple here.
And again, that looks up high in the air, bouncing puck in the corner for Rivik. Rivik will open the scoring in this game less than 4 minutes in. Slovakia got off to a great start with a 3-goal first period. Tretinez. And Martinson back to center ice, and Andreas Martinson will see lots of time here in the third period. He's got a big goal against Canada. And Norway's emotional win yesterday in the shootout. Martinson was heading off, but takes that pass as well. And Panik swings back to pick it up for Slovakia.
He had his stick half holstered, upside down, ready to make a change. Nice touch.
Suko winds in. Matas Suko works it back in front. Lantoshi plays it back. Rosendietz with a shot that was blocked by Olden. England Anderson. Up there at Salston. Winds across. Finds his brother. And that long shot of Havert Salston turned away. Here's Havert Salston back with it. Back to Kasastul. Swings that rink wide. It's picked up by Lantoshi. He's got Suko with him. In comes Lantoshi streaking in. Suko walks back to Lantoshi. Oh, what a save by Hoffman on the 2-on-1.
Oh my goodness.
That's 2 he's made like that in the last 2 periods.
Lift the puck in the air. Lift it. I think Lantoshi was out of gas there.
Yeah.
Hanging on. Couldn't quite elevate.
Ludwig Hoff back on it. Norway in the middle of a change.
Like, you know, that goal, that kind of would end the game. Norway's still alive now.
Pasterheim tied up in the corner. And racing back. Hansen plays it across. Solaric feeds that back. Rubicek has it knocked away. Vikingstad drops that back. Berg Paulsen. Rubicek feeds that back. Solaric with it. Plays it back across. And Gaidos finds Lunter. Lunter fires up the goalpost. The distance. Now another shot, this time from Chaho. And the save is made by Hoffman.
What a release by Lunter, and that was after Lantoshi and Sukel break in on a 2-on-0. Lantoshi's probably fast enough to take this one all the way, but he drops it over, gets dropped back, and he's plenty of room to shoot. He just has to get it above the pad. It's a great stretch by Hoffman. He reads it, he makes the shooter beat him. Don't just give up the empty net. But that's a shot that a goal scorer should make. Nice flat pass, not coming too hard, just get in the top half of the net and you're good to go.
Kasastul. Back around to Liljeberg. Plays out to center ice, and it's knocked away by Koch. Kasastul brings it back. Lead pass to Olam. The captain finds Tretinez. In, shoots! And Skorvanek makes a good stop there.
That's a big save. A rare breakdown for Slovakia in the neutral zone. And Tretinez skating off the puck. As Koch tries to step up, he doesn't have support in the middle. Chaho is just a little bit behind the play, and Tretinez has a crack. The 7-hole on Skorvanek.
Tretinez looking for his first goal of this World Championship.
This is one of the guys they would count on to get it done.
There's Panik knocking it down. Tried to throw that rink wide. It was knocked down by Olam.
I wonder if Norway might want to keep hanging.
Ooh, give away to Panik. Walks in and fires. Hoffman save. Rebound. Rivik shoots. That was blocked by Johannesson.
Some juicy giveaways for Norway here.
Panik tries to work it back in. Poked away by Johannesson. Panik Down up in the corner. Here's Regenda with it. Banks the puck back to Nemitz. Nemitz works it and shoots. And the stop is made by Hockland. 3-1 Norway. Slovakia leads Norway here in the third period. .25 to go here in the third period. Germany 4-0 lead on France. Our TSN decision desk is going to call that for Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not worried about being premature at all?
Nope.
Not a 5-goal rally in regulation for France?
Nope. We're going to declare Germany elected into the quarterfinals for the 4th straight year. And they'll come here to Tampere and play Switzerland on Tuesday. That's all we know.
The only matchup that is locked in at this point in time. Switzerland, Germany, Tuesday, Thursday, here in Riga.
We know Finland's third on that side. They'll await the winner of the Canada-Czechia game, which is next. The winner of that game will finish second, but will travel to Tampere to play the fifth, because the host teams play their quarterfinal games on home ice. So should Latvia qualify tonight, the first place team on the other side, which will be decided between the US and Sweden, will come here to play them.
Going as the second place team to play Finland, as Noah Steen hobbles off after the wrong drop and he took a block at the ankle. Trying to work through those bees in the boot. So going to Tampere early is not the worst. No, you're going to have to get there anyways. You're going to play a good team regardless. But if you win the division or the group, and you have to come to Latvia to play in this cauldron against the home team,
and then if you win,
and then go back, that is not much of a reward for finishing first.
No. Lantoshi up for Suko. Lead pass for Lantoshi. You can see why they do it. I mean, it's obvious you want.
Yeah, no one's going to complain about it. It's just not the normal rotation and not ideal for that team that finishes first.
Williamberg works it. Cehlarik has a goal in this game for Suko. Flips that back down. Kellerman gets their first for Slovakia. 8.5 to go in the third period. Bounce back in front. Kellerman was poke checked by Hockland, and he quickly has to eat that up.
Quick hands. The puck's up in the air like that. You want to drop it as fast as you can. You want to get it down to your stick. Kellerman does a good job handling it, dumping it down where he can maybe get a piece of it, and eventually does. Got to scrape it home. There's Kellerman, another guy on Slovakia who had a little taste of NHL time.
Yeah.
14 games with Arizona this year. Most of the year spent with Tucson.
Good year, 14 goals in 59 games in the American League.
Pretty similar numbers to Regenda.
It's his first year North American Pro. Cehlarik plays that back for Gaidos. You have to say North American Pro because it's a bit demeaning to European leagues to say it's his first year in pro.
Yes, first year in North America. These guys have been playing pro since they're 16.
Yeah. Here's Gaidos with it. Love down by England Anderson. And Anderson has it back. So Slovakia holding up its end of the bargain.
Setting up potentially a big night.
Oh.
big night in Riga.
The joint will be packed. It's Latvia against arguably the best team in the tournament, Switzerland.
Who has as many fans as any country here.
Right, so it's going to be
Latvia.
So it's going to be
a lot of red and maroon.
England Anderson back with it.
That's Slovakia's got to get this across the finish line though. Still 7 minutes. You're on the bench. You're like 3 more shifts. 3 more good shifts from everyone, and this game is over.
And in comes Rivik. Walking right in a centering pass, broken up by Liljeberg. Martinson goes after it. Trentinez busting back in. In comes Trentinez on Nimitz, and Nimitz rides him off the puck. Martinson's thrown up toward the goal and kicked out by Skorvanik. Trentinez knocks it down, beats it across to Olam. Martinson works it and shoots short side. That goes wide. That looked offside at the Slovak line. But
he just timed it right, out and back in.
Nimitz throws it ahead, knocked down by Rivik. And that play is offside. Pretty good catch, though.
Yeah, he grabbed it. That was the correct ruling, because you need to have possession of the puck to be able to skate in backwards with it. And he loses it. That's not really possession, and he goes in backwards. If he stops on it, the chance is dead. He's going to get caught. So you kind of have to roll with it as... he's fuming. That line's had a lot of chances. Rivik's been in alone. Panik's had 3 point-blank chances as well.
Well, when you're in Slovakia's position and Norway's, when you're not scoring, you kind of have to load up, don't you? I mean, you have to.
Well, spreading it out's not getting it done, so.
Although, as you made the point in the first period, 3 goals from 3 different lines today, which is unusual.
That's why they're going to win. It's just the production they have not have.
Are you declaring it?
Yes. Not with the same confidence you declared the other game. If they only needed to get to overtime, I could declare it now. We've seen some strange things, late rallies in this tournament. But Norway hasn't really pressed up. They haven't changed their game plan. They haven't held the blue line. They just play the same way. They're not pushing here.
Kellerman winds in, knocked down by Johannesson. Shots are 33-23 in favor of Slovakia. Good check. Spins that back down. And Ivan has to go back.
Nope.
And that's gonna die right at the goal line. A couple times we've seen that here today. Just past 2 o'clock in the afternoon local time here in Riga.
What do the rest of the day looks like for Slovakia? They do all their cool down stuff. They get out of here at 4 o'clock back to a hotel, I suppose.
Linter shoots, it goes off a skate.
Put the game on at dinner and cheer like heck for Switzerland.
Martinson works in. That's poked wide. Trentinez back on it. Trentinez throws it back in front. We have seen teams at the World Junior Championship go to a game that will decide their fate, usually relegation. Back when it was not a relegation series, and watch helplessly from the stands as their fate was decided.
There'll be no tickets available for a traveling party of 50.
No, this will be a tough ticket tonight.
You get your hands on that ticket, then you got friends in high places.
Nimitz plays that back around Olam. Skyler's trying to knock that free. Alvin Solston has a chip away by Nimitz. They move back to center ice. England Anderson slides in. Vesterheim works in, shoots, put that high, and the puck goes over the glass. 8:24 remaining here in the 3rd period. Slovakia still leads by 2. So, 3:24 to go in the third period, and Norway needed to score twice. Goaltender Henrik Hockland's on the bench.
So they haven't been aggressive all game. They haven't pinched once. They haven't held the blue line, and now with 3.5, they're going to pull the goalie and
Why not?
let her fly. I like it.
Nothing to lose. Viking stand for the face-off. That's picked up by Lantoshi. And that shot lifted wide by Kaderna.
We've seen some trouble hitting the empty net in this tournament.
It's like that one is smaller or something. It's that end usually. And by the way, the end where Canada scored a golden goal in this tournament. Paul in 2021. Olsen works in, that's tipped away by Janusik. Side of the goal, Martinson jams away. Lovanek down, will freeze that.
And he gets a hold of it.
2:41 to go.
Yeah, big Olsen and Martinson trying to drive the puck up in front of the net. It's going to be hard to seal it. So Lovanek finally gets it out of the air. And a whole new rack of 6 come out. You don't often practice doing this for more than a minute. You know, the idea of changing or going for any extended period of time, 6-on-5, is not something you do almost ever. That was a bad drop, but we're going to let it go.
Apparently.
Regenda was standing beside the Norwegian defenseman when the puck was dropped.
At the side of the goal, Trentonez feeds that back to Liljeberg. Trentonez peels back in the corner, drops that down to Olam. Back for Trentonez. To the goal mouth, Olam. Shoots, that's blocked. Picked up by Regenda. Bangs it back down, a race for it now. Ribbick battling there with Liljeberg, and Liljeberg pulls it out. 1:45 to go in the third. Germany now leading France 5-0.
Good call a couple minutes ago. Good call by you.
Gutsy, I thought. In comes Solaric with it. He's got some room. Feeds across. Hudacek shoots at the side of the net. It's like there's a force field in that net or something. Is that 4 strengths? Have you seen it miss that empty net?
What is going on out there?
Thomas Olsen works in. Hangs it back around from Vikingstad. That missed. Berg Paulson steps up. There's Ponick. Scores! Stuck down the top shelf from 100 feet away.
That's how you shoot at the empty net. Now that was a bad idea because he had room. He could have gotten the red line. Except he said, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to make it anyways. After Hudacek could have walked it in the empty net. Did not. Jim Ponick, another big night for him. Had the nice feed that opened the scoring.
Yeah.
And good defensive play on the wall. So like, he can get the red line there, so it's probably not a great idea to shoot it from in front.
You don't often see the elevated empty net shot like that from that distance.
As we've talked about, the best way to shoot the puck in the net is to shoot it. Not to try to pass it or place it or guide it into the net, which is what we saw Hudacek try to do. Just fire it. You're a professional hockey player. It's center ice. You can hit the you can hit the net from there. And the referee having a little conversation with the Slovak bench. Regenda was chattering with Trentonez, and he just told him to sit down and be quiet.
Craig Ramsey gave him the business as well.
No, Craig Ramsey told him, sit down and be quiet. Enough of that. All right, we're up 4-1. Finish with some class, which is Craig Ramsey's MO always. So, Slovakia, mission accomplished. They put 4 up on Norway, which has been very difficult to do. No one scored 4 goals against them in this tournament. Kazakhstan got 4, but one of the 4 is a shootout win. So
they burped up 2 points, as you mentioned, against Kazakhstan in that shootout loss. Although you can look at it, they were down 2 goals in the third period, so they rallied back to 4's overtime. So now they'll sit and wait.
It's a helpless feeling watching another team control your fate.
Right.
And anytime something happens, you think the hockey karma is conspiring against you.
You assume that Switzerland's motivated, although the Swiss have already clinched first place.
But Switzerland's deep enough that they can't really ice a bad roster. Their goalies are all good.
Right.
You know, everyone plays about the same.
Vikingstad works in. Paulson with backhand shot, the save made by Skorvatic. And Slovakia will finish the preliminary round at 3-2-2. Will that be enough to get them to the quarters? They'll wait and find out tonight. Norway falls to 4-1.
In Tampares, Team Germany and France is 5-0. Rezultāts Tampares starp Vācijas un Francijas izlasēm ir 5-0.
The best players of each team will be awarded by IIHF International, official sponsor of the 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Dāmas un kungi, katras komandas labākais spēlētājs saņems balvu no 2023. gada Startautiskās Hokeja federācijas pasaules čempionāta oficiālā sponsora IIHF International.
The prizes will be presented by Edgars Buncis, of the organizing committee 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Balvas pasniegs 2023. gada IIHF pasaules čempionāta hokejā orgkomitejas vadītājs Edgars Buncis.
Best player of Team Norway.
Labākais spēlētājs Norvēģijas izlasē.
Number 37, Markus Vikingstad. Best player of Team Slovakia.
Labākais spēlētājs Slovākijas izlasē.
Number 87, Pavel Riga. Ladies and gentlemen, now the award of the three best players of Team Norway of the tournament.
Dāmas un kungi, tiks apbalvoti Norvēģijas izlases 3 labākie spēlētāji šajā čempionātā.
Three best players award are selected by each team.
3 labākos spēlētājus noteikusi katra komanda.
The three best players of Team Norway are number 33, Henrik Haukeland. Number 14, Ken Andre Olin. Number 76, Emil Lilleberg.
Ken, after such an emotional win yesterday, did it feel like the team came out a little bit flat to start here today?
Yeah, the first period was not our best, but yeah, we fought our way back in and gave us a chance in the third, so yeah, I'm really proud of the boys.
I was going to say, of everything that's gone on here, what are you most proud of with this team?
I think that we never give up. We have a couple games where we had a bad period, but then we came back and we've been in every game, and I think that's pretty good.
And then in Norwegian, just talk about what this tournament has done for this team and how proud you are of the guys.
Jeg er stolt av gutta. Vi har vært med i alle matcher og hatt sjanse til å ta poeng i alle, så det er noe vi skal ta med oss.
Thank you. A very important win for your team. Now you have to wait to see what happens in the Latvia game, but what was the mentality coming into this one?
Well, we knew what we had to do this game. We needed 3 points, and in the end we got them, so we were happy about it, and now we'll cheer for Switzerland.
You were a part of this win. Your goal was a fantastic goal. Highlight reel. Walk us through what took place there and what you saw as it all went down.
Well, guy just passed me in front of the goal. I saw the guy jumping on me, and then I saw the space next to the D, and I tried to took it, and he wasn't that fast. So yeah, I had some window there, and I used it.
Perfect. And then in Slovak. Your thoughts on the game and the performance by your team today?
Tak ja si myslím, že sme odohrali veľmi kvalitný zápas. Vedeli sme, čo musíme dneska vyhrať, a to sme splnili, a teraz už len večer na zápas podporiť Švajčiarov. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Najsilnejší, nech to trafím.
Shots on goal in the third period. Team Norway 8, Team Slovakia 12.
Zatím hlavné trešia prvnia. Norway získal 17 bodů, Slováky získal 17.
Shots on goal.
Letiem klāta visā spēlē. Norvēģis izlasa 12.
Shots on goal the entire game. Team Norway 25, Team Slovakia 35.
Letiem klāta visā spēlē. Norvēģis